All right. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this fantastic non-farm payrolls day? Yeah. Good stuff. So basically, the market's reacting like the Fed is done hiking interest rates. The Fed did not say that, but that's the way the market is reacting. It also had something to do with the treasuries, and that being a little bit less than they did last time. Last time it was like a trillion. This time it's like 700 billion or something like that. The market, which is still a massive number, but the market liked that a lot. So yeah, unfortunately, Bitcoin is not doing what the rest of the market is doing, but that's okay because Bitcoin wasn't doing what the rest of the market was doing. We trade Bitcoin on its own merit. If you are in the US and you want to trade futures with Bitcoin, you can do that via Weeks. This is the platform right here. Weeks right there. There is a link in the description. It is non KYC. You just need to sign up with an email and you can transfer USDT, as you can see right there. USDT, you can transfer Bitcoin. They do not accept USDC. All right. And if you do use my link, you will get trading discounts on the fees associated with entering and exiting positions. But we're kind of waiting on the numbers to come out here. I'm not expecting a lot of like crazy numbers. I think they're pretty much going to be in line based on all the other economic data that we've received last month. Obviously, this is for last month. That's why it comes out on the first Friday of every month. The first Friday of every single month, you get the non-farm payrolls report, and it is for the preceding month. So we shall see how last month did as far as where we are on the unemployment rate. We're setting right at 3.8%. That's where we were last month. That's what we're expecting this month, 3.8%. If it goes up like 4.1% or something like that, that could be extremely bearish. But I don't think you're going to get that, unfortunately. There's a lot of jobs out there. Remember, the problem with like determining whether or not we were going to see a recession this year or not has been the fact that there are two jobs, or were, not anymore, but there were two jobs for every working person in America. So like literally everybody that's on unemployment could get a job, right? It's when there isn't jobs, that's basically when we start to see the recession. Plus a lot of other economic data points have come out that shows that we could be turning around, not so much as far as manufacturing numbers, but other numbers. So basically, if Powell is able to make us have a soft landing, he will be like a miracle worker. Let's just say that much. Um, so yeah, basically, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a trade close to the near term, the T-note futures. This is the 2-year bonds. And I'm also looking to get long TLT, but I need a pullback. I can't buy it after it's had a massive pop like this. This would have been the perfect place to buy it. I just couldn't because of how bearish it was. I mean, you were really bearish. Now it is in the form of we're going to see a bear trap and everything's going to roll back over, or this could pop up, come back for a retest on the 50. That's about when I want to be a buyer on the TLT. That's the 20-year though. All right, that's the 20-year. So a lot of bigger people like Stanley Druckenmiller, for instance, he wants to be long near-term bonds. So I want to be long near-term bonds and long dated bonds as well. So we'll see how it all plays out, though. I am looking for an entry here. Before we get going, I just want to go over literally, I took positions on all the wrong stuff, but most of the things that we were watching for shorts has been changed, obviously, right? We were looking for shorts on Bank of America. You can see that I blasted through there. That is a legit breakout there. You can't really look for shorts on that anymore. Goldman Sachs, same thing. You got to break out above the 50. But if we reject here and get back under the 309.36 level, I probably will look for shorts on that. I was short Schwab and I got killed on that trade. Oracle was a trade that we were looking for shorts as well. It has not got to the area that we are watching yet. This is a supply zone, but if we do close a daily above 107.58, we will stop looking for shorts. I am currently holding this short because, well, it came into the area, but you can see it. I should have waited on the close before taking that position to see if it indeed did close above the 50. So I'm getting killed on this trade right now. Tesla, it's still, it's still structured bearish. It's got a big gap up here to fill at 242. So I'm not looking really for any bearish trades on Tesla as long as the market is zooming like this. This was a long trade that we were looking at, Lulu. I was unable to get filled. I threw out orders on this day here when we tested this support level, and those orders sat in the market all freaking day long. It never got filled, which sucks because that could have literally saved the account. As far as profits, I'm still in profits year to date. P&L is good. It's just I lost quite a bit over the last 4 or 5 days. United Healthcare was another long we were looking at in this area. As you can see, that one's working out. So basically what I'm trying to say is everything that I didn't take worked, and everything that I did take didn't. Love it. Love it. But if I would have been able to get filled on all these positions, I would be doing pretty damn good right now because more of the longs worked out. Now, here's one that absolutely killed me too, GDX. I was long GDX. You can see that we closed down here. This is the area where if we close below, I will no longer be looking for longs. The fact that this thing is under the 50 has me not really wanting to be looking for longs either. But it is still kind of structured bullish. It's technically, this is not a bullish trade I would take. In fact, I would be looking for shorts on this. But with all the calamity that's going on in the world, there could be a bullish gold trade, or that bullish gold trade could have already happened. However, if we get a dollar pullback that has any sustenance to it, like you can see yesterday, we popped up out of this bull flag and then we dropped back down. And today we're trading right at yesterday's low, at today's low. So you can see there's not a lot of trading setups right now. When we come into NFP, I like for things to be trading mid-range. So that way I can look for a high spike, take out the high, get short, or a low spike, take out the low, get long. That's generally how we trade the news on these high-risk news events like NFP, but everything is pretty much trading at the highs or the lows. But so far, like on Euro USD, it has pulled its structure back around to where you can look for bullish entries. You're still trading in this flag setup or flag formation. So there, yellow line, yearly opening range could be an area to look for shorts. But just remember, right now, the momentum is to the upside. You did the same thing here. You broke down. I did short it on this day. It was a very profitable trade. And then that trade, the remainder of the position that I left on ended up getting stopped out. Basically, during the Fed, I literally told people in Discord, hey, just buy Euro right now. It doesn't matter. I guess the market's going to just rally on this news until we get to NFP. So what a lot of people are thinking is that this has all been a fake move. I can't disagree more. This is a freaking monster move. Now, here's the thing. In bear markets, I mean, I wouldn't classify this a bear market because you're not 20% off the all-time highs, but you can see like this was a big move right here, and then we rallied and completely took out the swing highs. So we could rally all the way up into this trend line and then roll back over if the market expects that there to be a recession. But the Fed pretty much squashed that. He literally said that we don't expect the recession to happen. And that's when the market got really, really bullish. So the market thinks that there's no more rate hikes coming, and the market thinks that there is no recession coming. So this data needs to come in line. And if it does come in line, I would expect this near-term trend that we have going right now to continue. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. This is only on the near term, so only for day trades. Longer term trades still might be bearish. If we come over here to the weekly and we pull up the 21, you can see where this weekly candle stopped so far. Right there. So this is an area right here where that will basically decide, hey, is this market going to be bullish? Are we going to break out and continue with strength? Or are we going to potentially roll back over based on technicals? We'll see what happens, right? This is a big fat weekly candle. And it did come after this, so we took out the highs. That's a bear trap, right? You break down below support. You got support over here even that you took out with that close. And then the very next week, take out the high. That is a trap. And whenever we get a trap, we typically do look for pullbacks to buy. But, you know, that'd be a deep correction all the way back down to 419.61. So let me pull up this right here. The numbers came out. Got a big pop on bonds. All right, big pop on bonds. Let's see what the NQ doing. Big spike on the NQ. All right, so we have taken out the high of day massively. This right here is the open of the day on the NQ. This was the close yesterday. Today's open. There's your daily low. There's your daily high, and you have slaughtered that high. So I don't know if I want to short this. Let's go look at the numbers. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everything came in line expected. Average hourly earnings year over year went up 1 point. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, all this is all bearish for the dollar. So I would expect a long bullish trending day. Let's get back over here and check Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a spike, but since it broke out, sold off, and we broke back down below that monthly resistance level, I do think that we could potentially be looking for near-term shorts on Bitcoin down to these lower support areas down here, 34 or 33,671. But any pullback into this, if you want to be a buyer of it, you can be, as this is daily support. As I already pulled it up here, daily support. So if you do want to buy, you buy at daily supports. Other daily support here, right? So that would have been a buying opportunity. This buying opportunity if you are long. But just remember, I don't like the way price is trading right now. Let me show you here on the actual Bitcoin chart that's like this. So this is Coinbase. You can see that yesterday we got a nice run up and then we broke back down. We took out yesterday's close, but it held on the close. Or the previous day's open, which is the level I wanted to see hold. And then today we're back under it again. But we have not tested daily support. This daily support. You have a small daily doji right there. Not the other word I was about to say, but you have a doji right there. That is also daily support. So we'll see if that level holds, 34, 487-ish. But we are looking for a trade. And just because we haven't been able to get in one just yet, we are looking for one. Euro USD, yeah, big move to the upside. I don't even think it did what we were looking for. No, it didn't. What I was looking for is, like I said, I was looking for a spike down for us to buy, and numbers come out and just straight up it goes. Back over here to the futures. Yeah, this thing is getting out of hand. All right, so right up here is the daily expected move to the upside. So far, for the last 3 days, this level has not been holding. We have been trading well above those areas. All right, so we'll see if this area acts as resistance. If it does, we'll take a short. Just basically because the move that we've seen for the last few days needs to cool off, right? That's a very big move to the upside on all of these assets, just straight up. Look at that. So what took, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days to get down here to 411. You've done it in 4. So half the time to the upside. That's typically not the way it works. Typically, you go down faster then you go up, right? But this time we've went up much quicker. So it does look like it wants to see some bullish continuation, but I think this is a little bit too big of a move. Man, it would have been nice to catch those bonds. So we'll watch this number up here is 15,000 on the futures. 15,091. This is the NASDAQ. We'll trade it as it moves faster. So I am going to watch that level. And as far as Bitcoin is concerned, I don't really see anything that I want to do just yet on it. As the daily candles are different, I need to fix that. I just haven't yet. I need to fix this to the New York time zone. But yeah, since you're trending down in the near term, I would probably say a resistance sell would be a good idea. But we didn't hit it. We hit old support there. I would rather sell at resistance or at supply. So let's give it a minute to situate itself, obviously. Plus, at the market open, we could definitely see this move get faded. I don't know if it will, but we will see. This is yesterday's close, today's open. You can see how since the daily candle opened, it's been trading inside of that range. And this is the first chance of us here trying to break out. I don't want to short it right here. I don't want to short it right here because there's nothing for me to short it against. I guess technically there is a level here, but this is the CFD, and we haven't touched that level either. So we'll just be a little bit patient. I can short this, but I can't short where we are currently. Remember, this thing moves. This is 44 where my cursor is. That high is 65. That's 20 handles. From that close to that high is 20 handles. That's a big move. Generally, if you can get anywhere between 25 and 50 handles on the NQ every day, you'll be doing all right, depending on your position size, which that also would be determined by your account size. This is a small account, started at $5,000. It was up to $1,200 and it's dropped all the way back down to $8. So lost about $300 and something there. Here's the current open positions. The BA long is doing pretty good. I have a sold short put on the S&P 500. This is a long time out. So basically, all I need is for a day or two of rollover, and this will drop right back into profits. And then this is a long put. I bought a put, and then I decided to turn it into a spread once it started to go against me. But XLY holds a lot of Amazon and Tesla. So as long as Amazon and Tesla are doing good, then that will go up. So we'll go back over here to positions. And then here's Tesla. Tesla is gapping up this morning. And then where's Amazon? Amazon closed red on the day yesterday. It's gapping up today. So could see a potential gap and go on Amazon, which means if you're gapping above a range closed to the downside, typically anybody that got short yesterday will be stuck. They'll be trapped, right? Because their stop loss will be yesterday's high. So if the market gaps above their highs, then that's going to cause a lot of buying pressure to come into the market. So the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the open on Amazon could cause a spike up. That is if the gap and go plays out. So we'll see if it ends up being gap and go. This thing had good earnings, so that's why it got the big spike. And then on Wednesday, it just boom, blowed out. So yeah, any shorts that I was looking for in that it's broken out of its downtrend. So when a downtrend gets destroyed, we no longer look for shorts. Like there was the trend. This was the area where I was looking for shorts, and then boom. Obviously, I was wrong. Technical analysis doesn't work all the time. It's risk management is what makes you profitable. And I've been doing very terrible on managing the risk in the smaller portfolio. The simple fact is I'm going to put more emphasis on my main accounts, obviously, than I will on a live real account that I do on YouTube. I do have quite a bit of money in the weeks account though, $29,685. So we'll see what we can do with that if we get a setup. First area to look for shorts is going to be 34,444. That's on the weeks side. So we'll look to trade weeks. What does it look like over here on Coinbase? Intraday wise. Looks similar. Yeah, it looks similar. All right. So we'll keep an eye on this little spike right here. If it closes above 34,268, then we might want to look to be a buyer on a retest of that level. Like, so when the next hourly candle opens, which is going to happen in 19 minutes, if we get a spike down, we can watch this zone right here of support to see if it holds. If it does, we could potentially look for longs there if the NASDAQ continues to trade up. Even though Bitcoin has been doing its own thing, it is bullish. And even though I don't like this pullback and I wanted to see monthly support hold, on a daily, it doesn't really matter, right? You could just be dropping back to support. People could be looking to buy it there. But it's just based on news, I guess. I mean, this thing really rocked and rolled. Now, it did hit my yearly target of closing the gap at 35K. That was essentially my yearly target. So as far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin can do whatever it wants to do now because it hit my target. I took profits and everything's good. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The music, it's called No Ceilings by Cushy. Cushy. No Ceilings. Right here. No Ceiling. Cushy. That's the song. Yeah, that's a good song. I like it. You'll probably find it on like YouTube or something. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. 10 a.m. ISM data dump, probably. Euro USD yearly open. Almost. Not quite. Where's it at? Oh, yeah, damn. All right, so if you want to take a short on that, that would be the time to do so. I'm not, because I have a bullish bias on Euro. It's hard for me to short stuff that I got bias on. When the technicals are no longer bearish, those are the times that I don't look for shorts. But yeah, I mean, that's a perfect place to look for short. It held there and it held there. And you've liquidated this bear flag. So if you want to take a short here, just risk 1% on it. It's a pretty strong bullish day. I would enter at the yearly open and put a stop 15 pips above. Make sure it's only a 1% loss. Like I said, I'm not taking it because I have a bullish bias on it. Unless this is just a bear market pullback, I mean, I don't see any reason to be bearish on anything right now. The dollar is probably getting killed. Yeah, the dollar's getting crushed. But still in line with this bear flag or bull flag, if you will. It did break out above it and rejected, so maybe it wants to come down here and play a little bit, find support, liquidate that low, then maybe it gets bullish again. But I don't know. I think the market has changed its direction based on what the Fed has said. Bitcoin still hasn't really done anything. It's trading inside of a range. Let me see here. So that line would be that hourly. Res would be supply, but it's also daily support. We'll see what happens. Where's the NASDAQ? It's pushing up. Excuse me. Like I said, right in this area. That would be the daily expected range high. Based on this right here. You can see the NQ. This is today. It had a $122 expected move before the news. $122 expected move. That's $122 up from yesterday's close, or $122 down from yesterday's close. So the lower end of the expected range is all the way down there. So if the market fades, if it gets up here and it fades, you could potentially see it get as low as down there. So we'll keep an eye on it, but we need it at the level. We can't short it here because there's nothing here. Literally nothing that would make me want to take this short. But up there, yeah. Can you grab me another bottle of water? I don't think there is one more. All right. So with that, we'll keep our eyes peeled. Bounce around from chart to chart here, just looking for stuff. The market hasn't opened yet. Let's check out what the Magnificent 7 is doing. Ooh, big gap down on Apple on good earnings. Wait, what? No one expected that, I don't think. Top and bottom line beats. Bottom line, not a great beat, but it still was a beat. So why the sell-off? And if Apple sold off, why is the ES doing so good? Because Apple has a big portion of the S&P 500 in it. Yeah. That's weird. Let's go look at the rest of them. Amazon gapping up big. All right. Google gapping up. It'll be from yesterday's close. Meta gapping up. Tag the line that I'm watching to perfection, though. What line is that? It's daily res right there. Well, we got a few minutes left before the open, but I mean, that's a perfect test of daily res and a slight rejection. So maybe maybe a bearish position or two wouldn't hurt. Gapping up Microsoft. Microsoft also huge market cap inside of the SPX. We're seeing Nvidia gap up, and it's got beyond the level that I was looking for it to roll over. See, head and shoulders freaked everybody out. Everybody's looking for a short based on a breakdown. You didn't get it. It did break down, but then it went right back up, and it's trading at 440.80. So a $40 move essentially. Well, more than that if you count the low of day, but counting where support was or the neckline of the head and shoulders, you're up $40 from there. And then we've already seen that Tesla is gapping up, moving higher. Netflix gapping up, broke out. This was another short trade that I was in. And remember, on this day, I was telling people, do not get short here because this is support. And look what happened. It went straight up from there. So, yeah, everything that I was in, literally, except for the Boeing trade, was wrong. So I closed a lot of those out for losses, and that's what literally brought the account down. I really thought we were going to, continue to break down, but we didn't. So that's that. It's all right. We'll get it back. We might get it back right here in a minute. So I think with the P&L that I got and with the buying power that I got, I do not believe I can sell to. Nope. I will set a sell to open 50.090. See how big of a move that is? We're 40 handles from that. Almost 40 handles away, and it looks really close. This is a big move. They like that data. Unemployment rate did go up 1 point or 0.1%. Which that might be the highest level it's been in a while. Let's go pull up the unemployment chart. Yeah, it is. All right, so it's going to go up to 3.9, which will put it right there. Yeah, the Fed might be getting what it wants after all. So next month's non-farm payroll is going to be even more important than this month's is, because you can see a clear trend up here. Bitcoin still has not got anywhere. What is it doing? Just trading back and forth on 5-minute candles? Yeah. There's the news. Bitcoin barely did anything on the news. Yeah, Bitcoin's trading on its own merits right now. It's not trading on any economical data. So this is the level that I'm speaking about here. All monthly support. That also filled the CME gap to the upside. The last CME gap we got is setting down around $20,800, I think. We'll go check it to make sure, but that's where the next gap is. And remember, at the beginning of the year, I said you could go up, fill that gap, come back down to fill that gap, and trade sideways until you get to the halving, which the halving will be in first quarter next year. That is if it happens in March. If it happens after March, then it will be in the second quarter of next year, where we get the actual halving. But it is coming up. I cannot believe that it's been freaking 4 years already. Time flies. But that's the monthly support I wanted to see it close above, and it didn't. And it had plenty of time to do so. Yeah, you tested it on the 23rd of October, the first test, right? The first test was on the 23rd. So ultimately, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You had 9 days to break above and close above if there was demand at 30, 35,000. My biggest fear that there was going to be a lot of people doing what I did, and that is take profits, and then that would ultimately cause selling pressure. The fact that we haven't taken out this breakout candle's low yet is good. As long as this breakout candle's low remains intact. Let me see what that price is. 34,079. 34,100. So the low is still intact, but not by much. If we take out that low and close below support, you will have a trap on your hands. But the risk is still to the upside. You did put in bearish divergence here. That's why we were, not really looking to get long up here so much, because we figured the divergence would play out, and it did, or it has so far. There's still room on this move too to play out, so you could go a little bit further. But this area here is definitely, I do not want to see it get back under that. If it gets back under that one, we're probably going to be looking at the CME futures gap down right in here. The top of that gap is 21,120. The bottom is about 22.95. So yeah, sideways chop. But so far it's been making higher highs and higher lows, which is bullish. So that's a good sign. There's the 200 week. A lot of accumulation happening under there. So we want to see that level hold, and let's pull up the 200 exponential. Same scenario. A lot of accumulation happening under that. So, I mean, ultimately, it's still structured bullish. I'm not bearish on it. I'm just letting you know that there is a trap. I mean, there is a gap down here. I honestly thought it was going to fill the low end gap first and then go get the top gap. The fact that it went and got the top gap first, kind of not good. A lot of new sellers coming in because you filled the gap. Then you got profit takers. All kinds of stuff. We still have not gotten to the top edge of the expected move yet. Yo, what's up, Aaron? Thanks. Yep. Bitcoin dumped today, you think? It hasn't yet, but it could. I mean, I wouldn't consider that a dump. You're only down 1.5%. A dump would be like down 12%. That would be a dump. But down 1.5%, nah. I don't know. So it has hit resistance on Coinbase. And it did tag that lower edge. So let's put a sell order at 34,450. See if we get a hit. $34,450. So there we go. And let's see. We'll put a stop in if it gets filled. I definitely want to see the top edge of the expected move get hit. But let's do some math. The top edge is yesterday's open, or yesterday's close. So now that we're setting at 107, the 14,970 plus 108, 15,078. So that'd be right in there if we used the new number with a 17% implied volatility. Let's go look at the VIX. VIX is rolling over. That isn't good for shorts. The main VIX is all the way back down to 15 bucks. It was at $22 not so long ago. Back down to 15. That's not good for bears. Something else that's not good for bears. CTAs are now short 25 billion of U.S. equities, one of the largest short position in 8 years. 8 years. This is one of the biggest short positions that we've seen in the markets in 8 years. So just imagine what kind of a rally you could see from that, right? I don't know where they're short, obviously, but and then being bigger players, I would assume they're short at the top of the range, not like on lows. Professional traders don't short lows. They don't short low breakouts either. Yeah. So, I mean, they could be short up here. More than likely, they're short higher. Probably 457.79 is where that short position or those short positions started, because right in here is where it rolled over and then came back up. So this is probably your zone that you would have to get above in order to see a massive rally for those short positions to get triggered. Ah, good cold water. It's nothing beats good cold water first thing in the morning. Let's go back. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right, so we need this thing to pop up. Let's look at what the SP's doing. I didn't get the measured move on the ES. Let me go get the measured move on the ES. Which means I need to find the open. Here, let's do the SPX instead. November 3. So they're looking for a 25-point move. Here's your close. I exited out of the calculator. What's that close? 43.32. I thought we had a close on 43.32 not too long ago. 25 bucks. 43.57. Right there. All right, we could try a short on the ES. Let's see if it'll let me sell 3 of them. No. Damn it. It'll let me sell 2 of them. 35.57. Stop 35.59. I got filled at 35.56. I wanted to be filled at 35.57. So I got filled a whole point off from where I was looking. Because remember, this is the top edge of the expected range. So if it is going to sell off, I would expect it to sell off from here. If it is not going to sell off, then I'm going to get stopped out. So since we got this position setting at 35.56, we need to put our stop 2 points. 2 points up. 43.58. I want to buy to close 2 because I sold 2. Right there shows you how many my position size. You should be able to see that. 2 contracts. So we would click this up to 35.58. I don't know why I keep saying that. 43.58. And stop market. What did you change? Keep an eye on this always, because if it changes like that, you got to fix it. So there we go. So we got our entry in, we got our stop set. And now let's go. What was it? 43.38 was the open. I mean, the close of yesterday. 43.32. So we're going to bring the calculator back up. We want to get the bottom edge of the expected move, because if it does sell off, we might be able to nail this whole freaking move. I mean, it would be straight up luck. $43.32 minus 25 handles, 43.07. There we go. So 43.07. That would be a big ass move. That would also put us, let's go see where that would put us. Since we got our stop loss situated, we're good to go. Let's make sure I haven't got, oh, I did get filled on the week's position. What the hell is up with that? Why did it only get filled on 852? What? Well, we'll put our stop loss at 34.509. And 100%. I don't know why it didn't get filled on a full-size position. Okay, dude. I got you. We'll see what happens there. What the fuck, dude? Why didn't I get filled on a full-size position? SPY is still up. So we got our stops in, we got our entries in, so we're open. Current open positions are, we are short the micro ES futures contract, which is the S&P 500. The actual futures contract, we are short Bitcoin with a very small position, but I put it 100%, so why I didn't get filled on 100% of my, I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into that. Anyways, I'm going to keep going back and forth over here. I want to see Apple's getting killed. Yes, yes, yes. If Apple continues to get killed today, that would be so good for that short position. And it went right back up to that trend line again and rolled over again. That would be like the fourth time that trend line was respected. I would say it had more to do with the horizontal line than it did that. The horizontal line was daily res. So on a beat on earnings, you tested daily res and rolled over. Let's see if we took out this high. 182.34 intraday. Nope, not quite. But we need it to continue to roll over for that S&P short to work out. I would also like to see Microsoft roll over as well, and it has already given back most of its gains. That's good for ES short. I would have much rather been able to get short NASDAQ, but we'll see how it plays out. The S&P has hit its expected move to the upside, which was 25 points or 25 handles. We'll see how it plays out. If we get back down in around the 43, 41 area, I'll take one of those contracts off and move my stop to like 43.50-ish. But that's that those are pretty big expectations. And that's one thing you can't really have as a trader. You just got to manage your risk, guys. That's all it's about. There's no special strategy out there. But most of you are my normal followers, so I don't really see anybody that's new in here. Well, if they are, they're not talking. Good morning. I think Apple had less units sales, especially in China. Oh, yeah. That's true. I forgot about the whole China thing. Thank you for reminding me. Despite earnings, demand for iPhones trending down for them. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the whole China thing. Thank you for reminding me about that. If Bitcoin's going to dump, then we got a position on it right here. So we're in at 34,550. No, 34,450. The stop is $59 above that. That is a pretty good close. Now, if, like I was saying earlier, if one wanted to go long from here because Bitcoin is structured positive and it is overbought, then you would be looking to get long around 34,288, but you would have to have a much deeper stop loss. You need to get your stop at least under today's low, which is this green candle here. That's your low of day. Current low of day. Why I didn't get filled on a big size, I'm gonna ask my guy what the hell's going on with this. But if I can't get filled on a simple $30,000 position without leverage, I didn't have any leverage on, then something's wrong. Right? I gotta get filled, man. I gotta get my fills, dude. All right, back over here to Tasty. Although it is rolling over and we are showing a profit of 1%, I don't understand why. We're only up 31 bucks on the trade. This is the one that we need to watch. This one right here. Because this one is that short call. That short call, $4,600 call. Feb 16, so 105 days out. Juicy premiums on that. Juicy premiums. Max profit, though, when you sell options, you get a max profit, would be 33 spot 50 times 5, 167.50. But when I sell puts and I sell calls, I'm not looking to get the full amount. I'm looking to make 50% on the option, and then I'll close it out. So that's basically what we're doing when we're selling naked options. Because even though it goes against you, like I did it yesterday, so it still went against me yesterday, and obviously today it's going against me. If I sold the call, I'm assuming price would have been much lower, maybe around 43.20 when I actually sold the call. That's why it's down dramatically. But when you sell calls, as time goes on, you get that theta decay. That's what you're actually doing. You're selling the call to get the theta decay. So it can literally be against you for 4 or 5 days, and then you could get a 1 or 2 day pullback and boom, be right into profit. So the reason it's showing that we're up $58 so far is simply because this has gone down. And this is went down by 20 bucks. We got to keep our eyes on the Bitcoin trade. This is pathetic. Pathetic. I should be up at least a couple percent. But since I didn't get a full fill, I ain't. But I mean, you're literally shorting it at the lows pretty much too, which is something we typically don't do. But I'm just looking for this near-term trend to continue. So that's basically it. Sell the top of a near-term little wave, an intraday pop, if you will. We'll see if it continues. Microsoft. Yeah, if Microsoft and Apple go down pretty much all day and be like a downtrend day, that ES trade will end up paying us. Amazon popped up and it's still up. Google popped up, still up. Meta popped up, still up. We know Microsoft is down. Nvidia popped up, still up. I think Nvidia is going to squeeze a lot of shorts. We're looking for that head and shoulders breakdown. Most retail is already squeezed out of it. You get a $40 move, a 40 handle move on a big asset like that. Most retail can't afford that. That's a $4,000 loss on one contract, on one put option. Netflix kind of gapped up, but not much. So it's going to be on Apple and Amazon, or Apple and Microsoft, to continue to sell off for this trade to work out. And it might not. I mean, it's been bullish. And everything was good on the news. So taking a contrarian stance like this is probably not a good idea. I mean, this is the one thing right here that would be bullish for the dollar. Yeah, there we go. We got stopped. Even though it didn't go up there, it still stopped me out. I guess it did get up there. We just lost $8. We'll take another one. Maybe make it wider. What's the NQ doing? It's way off. Maybe we should wait until the open. Maybe we get a spike on the open and then we can sell that, the opening range. Man, I don't know what's going on with this. We gotta close above it. So yeah, we'll have to wait till the open before we take another position on that. Because it could sell off at the open. Bitcoin just retesting the midpoint of this bullish candle and having trouble getting under that. That doesn't look good or bode well for a short either. Typically, if you when you get into a short like this, you want to see it like really start to work in your favor really quickly, and not just play around your entry. All right, so we got a little bit of time before the open. Let's see what we got going on here. NASDAQ, we're in the weekly and 8-hour resistance, says Tony. So let's go see. I guess that would be, I mean, are you talking about that or the US 100? Probably US 100. Yeah. Yeah, but it's very bullish, like I said. And the news that we got, most everything came in line. The only bad thing that I really see is we got a one tick up, 0.1% tick up. And non-farm payrolls came in a little low. 180,000 jobs expected. We got 150. So whenever it's red like that, that means bearish for the dollar. So literally there's only one thing that's bullish for the dollar up there, and that's average hourly earnings year over year. And that's just a 2-star event. That's why you're seeing the dollar sell off. Everything is, all this is bearish for the dollar. If it's bearish for the dollar, it's typically bullish for risk. But I still think, today could be a trend day up, and we'll watch it by watching the opening range. But I gotta log off of my Thinkorswim and log back on. I guess I'm gonna have to open a Schwab account, even though I don't want to. I keep getting an alert saying, hey, if you don't do this, you're not gonna lose access to this platform. And although I don't need the platform, a lot of my indicators and stuff like that I've accumulated over the years that I still look at, I would lose. All right, something is wrong. I've lost my candlesticks. There they are. Yeah, that's a pretty big move up. Trading well above your VWAP and all that stuff. I want to see a spike on the open and then a reversal. And it'll be quick, probably with a pretty decent size range. So be careful. On the NASDAQ, we're in the weekly. Read that. Yeah, I'm still long UNG. 615. Looking for take profit 838. What are your thoughts? Yeah. I mean, I remember you saying that a long time ago. And I was telling you that $8 was probably out of the realm of possibilities, but I guess I was wrong. I mean, 615. So you're long from down here. I mean, 732 is where you're gapping up to. I don't know why you're looking for 838. I guess it's from this candle. That'd be a 14% gain on top of what you've already made. Which is an 18% gain. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Really, to be honest with you, it's still going up. So, I guess hold on to it, see what happens. You're gapping up above resistance, so that's a good sign. But getting ready to come into the winter months, this is typically when you do see a little bit more demand for nat gas. And it has been accumulating in a pretty sizable range for quite a while here. All right, since the initial sell-off, you started a range in April. So, I mean, if it breaks out of this overall range, you could see a massive move. Like, this is your range. So the longer you spend time in a range, typically, would give you a pretty decent breakout. Typically, but it doesn't mean it will. It just typically that's how it goes. We've also seen stuff range bound for a long time, break out of the range and then immediately get sold off. But I think you're right in getting long based on the fact that it is coming into the time when natty gas will have a little bit more demand. But I just don't understand why such a big sell off on that. I don't trade natural gas. I rarely trade oil because there's just too much crap, right? There's more than just supply and demand dynamics afoot there. You got people controlling price literally by controlling production, and the government the US could drop a ton of supply into the market. I mean, there's just too many things there that can basically, no matter what you think can happen based on your technical bias, those are two things like gold as well that are heavily, heavily, heavily different, right? But we'll see. I mean, I like your trade. You're in profits. At this point, I would probably take profit because once you get the closer you get to the top end of that range, the more resistance you're going to have. And you're looking for a breakout. You're looking for 838. That would literally be a breakout of this range. You see what I mean here? Like, this candle broke out of the range because that was the range high at that time, broke out and then dumped, sold off all the way back to the bottom edge of the range. The same thing can happen. Like, literally, I would probably be selling like 630 puts and 811 calls 30 days out. I just don't think there's enough premium. So we're trading well above the expected range. Let's pull up the NASDAQ. And it's getting closer to its expected range. We only do one contract with a NASDAQ because it moves very fast. But we got 1 minute till the open, and then I'll check UNG puts. Let's get back to the E. Let's use the MES because the NASDAQ just moves way too quickly. Like you could be down 20 points in a second. Even this right here, this was a big move. 431, 43.31 to 43.49. That's a pretty big move. Let's sell a 43.65. Just a random number that allows for stop outs. All right, so there's the cash open. NASDAQ getting a push. Hasn't taken out the high of day yet, though. $43.61.75. Let's see if we can get filled there. All right, so this is your cash open. 43.59 spot 50. So we expected a move up. And then if it's going to fade, you did just make a fresh daily high on the NASDAQ. Fresh daily high on the S&P. NASDAQ pushing 15.075 spot 75, 76, 50, 77, 78, boom. It went all the way up to 15.080 spot 50. So we got an opening range set as it rolls over at 15.080. And I believe that would have hit the expected move. I can't remember what it was. No, not quite. But remember, if we did the calculation with the lower number, that would have hit it right there. Once the news had came out, we had a decline of implied volatility. So we need this to start rolling over, or we're going to have to eat another stop. Because we're well above the 2 points. We're actually 4 points in the red here. And damn, got crushed on these positions. How is XLY? How am I getting killed by that much on XLY? What in the hell is going on with that trade? Oh, huge gap up. That is why. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to close that thing down here in a minute. Let's bring our cost basis up a little bit, which this will crush us if I'm wrong. It didn't bring it up very much at all, did it? At least I'm at 43.62. But it will help in the long run if it does roll over. The NASDAQ is still kind of rolling over after making that cash open. It set a low on the cash open and then rolled over. NASDAQ is about to test its cash open. It just did test the cash open. And we're very positive ticks. So looking for shorts is probably not the best, greatest idea in the world. What happened? Wasn't I down like freaking $1 million just a second ago? XLY is coming off. What would be very helpful is if the SPY would come off. Here we go. We're going to talk to the market again. We're going to tell it to go down, not up. Go down. You know you want to. You have very, very big trending opening days the last all week. So you want to pull back, don't you? $43.65, $43.62. That would be 3 handles. So there would be a stop loss if I had it out. It would be stopped. But these are 2-minute candles also. Usually the first 15 minutes are the most volatile. And the market will start doing what it wants to do, literally. Check the Bitcoin short. Yeah, it's not going so great either. So, yeah. Not looking good today, trade talkers. But it's not getting, not yet anyways, it's not getting really like huge bullish momentum, right? So that's good for us. For now. Well, knock on wood. I don't think that's wood. That's wood. I think, if you don't get a bullish trending day, which you could absolutely get a bullish trending day, but if you don't get that, I think you could see a pretty big drop because of how bullish it's been. I mean, the Fed, everybody took that as being so dovish, and he wasn't. He literally left rate hikes on the table. He said that we're not even thinking about cutting rates. That's not even in the discussion. Like, no one is talking about rate cuts. We're still, there's still rate hikes on the table. But when there was no dot plot or nothing like that yesterday, and that's, I guess that, or Wednesday, and that's why everybody's took it so dovish. Because remember, they did have a rate hike expected for this year, but the market thinks they're done. So we need to open up some bullish positions, but we need a pullback. See, typically I wouldn't be shorting this, not while it's so bullish. I would be looking for bullish entries on pullbacks. But we're trading well above today's expected range. Like even with NFP, the options market had 25 points as the expected move. And if we go look at, let me just bring this chart up over here. Like if we go look at just any of these things, like these are your expected moves, weekly expected moves, okay? Look at the breach on Amazon. We're still trading in this week. Like you would think it would pull back, right? And the SPY is like, the SPY is no different. Breach. That's a huge breach of this week's expected move. You're 3 standard deviations trading away from the top edge of the expected move. That's insane. You don't see that very often. You do get breaches quite a bit when there's a lot of volatility out there. That's a breach. That's a breach. You didn't breach there. Let's see. Here was a breach. I mean, you do get them, right? This is a breach. And it closed down on the weak breach. But look at this breach. You see the difference? Massive move. Massive. So there's nothing else that could be said about this other than you're just in a short squeeze. It's a gamma squeeze. Ultimately, one would expect on a Friday with non-farm payrolls, you would see that move pull back some. But there's nothing in the rule books that says it has to, right? If people want to be buyers, they'll buy it no matter how high it is. So there's a huge, huge, huge bullish candle. That is not what we wanted to see. So we're going to have to close this bad boy down on a pullback. Never close it at the top of the candle. Unless it just keeps going, then you just have to eat it. Like it's doing. We'll give it a second. I totally killed the gains on this account. But the good news is we'll get them back. Now that's way beyond where I would have expected it to go. It's just insane trading this week. Been absolutely insane. Everybody's expecting it to pull back. That's why it's just going up. So many shorts are getting squeezed, squeezed, squeezed. A lot of demand for risk right now. Let me see what the NQ's doing. Yeah, it went up, made a fresh daily high as well. So it traded down to the cash open low of day. The NASDAQ did, the S&P did not. This was your cash open right here. So we never even traded back down to the low of day. Where the NASDAQ did, it traded down to its cash open lows and then went up. So we're probably going to close this position. Because we're probably going to be trending for the rest of the day. Yeah, we're going to close it. The NASDAQ is squeezing higher instead of coming down. All right, so that's that. Now it'll probably drop, but I'm not playing that game. I got to close this position too because it's absolutely getting slaughtered. Where are we at here? Let's close this one. And the other one too. This one. So the Boeing trade is literally the only one that's in profit. I'll leave it open. We got to close this one too because it's breached the expected what I usually like trade to, which is $60. That's usually where I look to exit the position. But I might leave this one on just in case we do get that pullback later on in the day. All right, so let's go look for some positions, new positions to open. Bitcoin's going to get stopped out too. I can't imagine the XLY gapping up that huge. Anything above 160.95 invalidates short setups. So Apple, that's the reason right there that the S&P 500 is not working out for us. Because Apple is gaining back most of its losses that it took on earnings. Apple and then also Microsoft probably. Yeah. See, Microsoft doing the same thing. Just a slight pullback on the day. That's going to be your opening range. Set a low of day. Come up, take out the high of day, and slowly trend up for the rest of the day. It looks crazy, man. Crazy. It's just a squeeze. That's all anybody can say about this. This was a huge candle in a day. You haven't really gotten those big daily candles. It's just been gapping up on that. Tesla dropped down below 209, starting to squeeze its way back to the upside. Yeah, like I said, let's go look at Euro USD, see what it's doing. See if it pushed on beyond. Yeah, so that would have been stopped out as well. Where's index products? Let's go look. NDQ gapping up, going up. The Qs. It's insane. Insane. That's why I always usually switch my near-term bias. Once we breach the daily 21, I just go ahead and look for bullish entries, but I can't buy highs or opens on these things when they're so stretched. The momentum doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's got a lot of momentum, but it does. Yeah, see, there's your momentum. You're well above the 702 retracement from swing high to swing low on the NASDAQ. This is a tech-driven rally. It's literally what it is. Oh, no more hikes? Let's buy growth. Crazy. Look how much different, though, this rally is. Wait, something that doesn't look right here. Yeah, see, here's the NDX and the Qs. The US 100, this is not open anymore. That's what it is. This is not open anymore. Let's go back over to here on watch. This one is. Yeah, there you go. Right at the 50% retracement of this measured move from high to swing low. I just still don't see it. The shorts just are not there. Where's gold at? Gold moving higher, so that means GDX probably could have been a buy. Yeah. See that? It stopped me out, and now it's back up. You bastard. I love when that happens. Silver, same thing. That's because we're seeing dollar weakness. USD Swissy getting killed might close that position. What do I think of block and square? I don't know block's ticker. Is it BLK or BLCK? No. I need block's ticker. Oh. Oh, square is block. Well, it beat earnings. It crushed the top end. The top line earnings. It did good on bottom line too. I mean, this thing has gotten absolutely murdered. But you know the rules, Michelle. As far as day trades go, you're above everything. So I wouldn't buy it today because I would assume that gap might want to fill. But if you could get it at 46.88, then maybe you could buy it. I mean, that wouldn't be a gap fill, but it would definitely close some of it. But I would like to open some positions, but we need to open positions on stuff that hasn't already made its move. Especially the ones that, I mean, the banking sector's up. Let's just look at the sectors. That'll tell you that right there's your whole S&P right there. Like, the only thing that's not super bullish right now is energy. Everything else, XRT, retail, is freaking absolutely rocking and rolling today, up 3.23%. XLB, home builders, I mean, not home builders, materials, is up. All your sectors, there's the home builders up big. It's like the whole market just shifted. So as long as you're trading above the daily 21, you can look for that. I mean, look at that weekly candle. That is just preposterous. Dow Jones. I mean, even the Russell is getting a bid out of this. It's not got a nearly as good of a bid, but that SPX candle just straight up crushing shorts. Let's see if NASDAQ hit the measured move. I'm pretty sure it did at this point. But, I mean, I'm not going to take the trade. Yeah, you're trading above the daily expected range. All the sectors on the S&P 500 are up. But at some point they will absolutely roll over. It's just picking that spot's going to be difficult. I need to add the US 100 back in here, the one that is actually up and running. Just a massive weekly candle, and it's putting the midpoint right there at that 21. It's going to be hard for me to believe that this is a bull trap. It is going to be very hard for me to believe that. So I'll probably be buying pullbacks on the Qs, on the SPY, all that stuff. It's trading well above any levels that I would have expected it to roll over at. You've taken out that open and that open all in one candle. Boom! Short squeeze, baby. Yeah, let Square pull back a little bit. Can I look at PayPal? Yeah. 1.3 billion USDT transferred to Binance. Ugh. That might not be good. But we got stopped out on that Bitcoin trade also. So not good. Not good today. Not so far. We still got a whole day of trading. Ref CT ISO drops. Do I think eating pepperoncinis every day is bad for you? No. It might give you heartburn or indigestion, but no, I like pepperoncinis. The pickled ones. PayPal, yeah. Let's look at PayPal. It's doing the same thing everything else is. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in the financial sector. So it's getting a bounce just like all the other financials. I mean, you got a bullish engulfing down here. But if people are going to become bullish on the market again, then I would expect financials look really, really good because they're, I mean, they got beat up. Got beat up pretty bad. But here's the problem. Do you buy it up here? Or do you wait for next week, a correction? But that doesn't mean you get a correction next week. Next week it open and do the same exact thing. People buy momentum. I mean, the NASDAQ just made a fresh daily high. So that's just people keep trying to short the highs and they're just getting wrecked. Let's go look at oil. Yeah, oil not doing so hot, but it bounced from the yearly opening range and the 200 exponential. If oil will catch a bid, but I don't think it will. Yesterday was kind of an inside day. Let's see what that low is. 80.07. What's this low? 80.08. So it is, yesterday was an inside day. Oil, even though it's at the 200, I would say it's probably a sell. It had a really good trend up. It's hard for me to sell anything that's at the yearly opening range. Fresh high of day on the NASDAQ. All the way up to 15,150. Guys, the NASDAQ was at 14 literally 14 something. Jesus. 14,234. And these aren't even the real prices. I can't give you the actual prices on the, well, I can this way. Here you go. That high right there was 15,162. 15,162. So this was Wednesday. You were trading at 14,458. Like, that's a massive move. Almost 1,000 points in 3 days. That's freaking crazy. That's why all the short positions got slaughtered. VA's doing good still, though. We got that going for us. But it's even having a pullback. These things will pull back eventually. It's just a matter of when. We do have some day trades that we could take, but I don't see anything that makes me like really want to take. I mean, Apple is probably a buy since this is the fourth check of that line. It probably is going to break out. If Apple holds 174.14, I'll be a buyer there. Which should be this, the opening range price. Where did it open? Right there, 174. Yeah. A lot of things starting to pull back now. Meta pulled back pretty good yesterday. Do we dare short Meta? Or Tesla? NASDAQ is literally wrecking. Let me pull this other chart up. I don't know. Ticks are still super uber bullish. But ticks were bearish the other day and the thing was flying to the moon, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I can't believe we're trading $100 over 15,000. The VWAP on the NASDAQ comes in at 15,040. So down there. I think we'd be better off potentially shorting, buying some puts or something. Yeah, Groupon is bullish. And COPX. I don't know. Copper's not really doing much. I think it would have to be Tesla if we did try to take a short. It's the only one that's structured for it. These things are crazy. Yeah, Groupon is moving to the upside. I don't see the short on Groupon. No. I mean, it's out of supply zone. But I mean, this was a nice candle. For it to come all the way back to supply says something. I mean, you think it's going out of business, but I haven't heard anybody say that this thing is going out of business. And it trades with very thin liquidity, both on the shares and on the option chain. They got earnings. They got earnings this week. So no. No, we got a lot of room to make up. So we got to short something good. Something that moves. Something that's weaker than everything else. I just don't see it in tech. Tesla looks like a short, but the account's already gotten crushed today. And there's a gap up here that needs to be filled as well. The XY moving to S&P and NAS 2. Yeah, you got a breakdown on the DXY. But it's still within this bearish or bull flag structure. But obviously, I mean, it's broken down. It lost its momentum and it is now back into being owned by the bears. So it'll probably cycle all the way back down to oversold if it breaks down. If it holds support on today's close, then we might have other words to be said. As far as tech goes, Tesla's up higher than any of them. So let's try Tesla. We'll go out here 28 days. This thing moves quick, so let's see. This will be my last attempt. I mean, Tesla at least has the setup there. You're still trading under the 21. You're still under the 50. It's showing inherent weakness compared to everything else. So if it were to close bearish on the day, it would be fantastic. I don't want that chart. I want the other one. This one. You're back down. You just dropped below 15,100. So you're trading at 1596 now on the NASDAQ. So we have to watch that Tesla short very, very actively. Traded right back down to the higher edge expected range and bounced. That's how bullish this garbage is. And we traded above it. It closed above the 100, but it closed below it there. So if it is going to roll up over and have a pullback on the day, we wouldn't want to see it close above 15,114. Because that's the candle that closed under the 100. The round number. Just watching it to see if it closes above the 100 or below it. Thanks, Heath. You're welcome. For a pullback on it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't want to buy anything that's had a, massive move in the last 4 days. You definitely want to get it at support on a pullback. Yeah, that's generally how it happens, Andrew. Short squeezes, they come from the lows. because like the sellers are just gone. They're exhausted. Once you exhaust all the sellers, then there's nothing else for it to do but go up. And then you still have so many retail clients that are short at the lows. And then plus not only that, like I showed you that chart earlier that shows that there's actual firms that are short $25 billion worth of US equities short, which is one of the largest short position that we've seen in the last 8 years. That could cause a squeeze of epic proportion. Those guys get stopped out too. They don't know what price is going to do. You know what I mean? Nobody looks for value anymore. If they did, people would be buying Walgreens, right? Because Walgreens is, it's well below value. And even it's having a pop, right? This is what you would buy. You would buy stuff that's like literally blowed out. Now, Walgreens had fundamental issues with inside of the structure of management, right? That's why it had such massive issues. And I wouldn't buy Walgreens right now because there's 1,200 pharmacists that, or 2,000, something like that. It was 2,000 or 1,200. There's a big number of pharmacists are going to walk out or strike. I didn't even know they had a union. But anyways, I mean, from both Walgreens and CVS. So I don't know if I'd want to be a buyer of either of those two stocks, but that's typically how the stock market used to work. People would look for value, something trading, something worth buying, something that has potential to grow. But what we've seen pretty much all year this year is everybody's buying stuff that's overbought and they're selling stuff that's oversold. I mean, you got massive bullish divergence on this. Massive bullish divergence. It's just so oversold. It got so oversold that now, the pops, they could be vicious, but it's still something I don't want to buy simply because of that fact of now this is something that I want to see. The TLT pull back, give us a buy, and then maybe the 2-year bond yield. 2-year bonds, we could buy those on a pullback. This isn't pulling back though. But this is definitely something I'm interested in buying, and I'm interested in buying it for a long-term hold. So that Tesla short's kind of working, not really. BA's working good. We'll keep that BA position open. And we'll keep that MES short call open even though it's beyond where I need it to be. But remember, all I need is a day or two of pullback or even sideways, and that'll go right back into profit. Well, you got to be careful with that Tesla short because it can move, man. And it looks good for a technical short. It's just, I don't really trust anything right now because I'm so perplexed of this move that we've seen in the market. It's just insane. NASDAQ spiked back up to 114. So it got over that candle that closed below the round number, 100. But Tesla's still trading under the 200 and the 21, and you're getting close to the 50. So as far as a technical setup, this is here, but Tesla is trading at 224 and its all-time highs are $400. So people might look at that and be like, hell, there's $400 worth of stuff there. Or $200 worth of growth on Tesla. So I'll keep my eye on it. I do have a long put on. If I could get it back down to the open, I would take profits and that would fix a huge portion of the day. But if it breaks out and gets above the highs, it's going to kill the day. And it doesn't look like it wants to participate in any down move. But we'll keep it on. We'll see what it does. If it makes fresh daily highs, obviously I'm going to have to close it for a loss. Which is just, yeah, I mean, this thing is trading perfectly with its 21 exponential intraday. Would love to see it get under that. And in situations, normally I would put a spread on to slow it down. But you know, you can't if you are on the right side of the market, you'll make a lot more, obviously, if you don't have a spread on. The problem is you can see how fast it moves with each tick. Like you're bouncing $8, $10, $5. The Nasdaq's pulled back to the round number of 100. This would be a buy if you thought it was going to go higher, but it's already so extended. I mean, Jesus. Once again, I bring this chart up. This is what the options market expected the SPY to do this week. Either trade up here or trade down there. And we're up here. That's almost a 3 standard deviation move. At some point, like, something's got to give. But it doesn't have to give. I want to see it roll over. I want to see Tesla roll over, but yeah. All right, is any SOX testing weekly supply? Go look at it. Yeah, but like I said, you're right. You're 100% right, and it's testing that 200. I mean, in that 21 exponential, not 200, but I mean, yeah, I could see it pulling back from here. It had, I mean, that is a bullish engulf right there if I've ever seen one, and it happened at an old area of resistance right there. So there was the test of it. Here was the pullback, and then boom. So you can see how it closed right there. Then we traded under, gap down, closed, traded under, and now we're up here. So you're trying to short into strength like I did this morning, which, as you can see via the P&L, did not work out. Shorting into strength. But you could try it if you wanted to. But this is expensive, so I would do it via spread, and I would only be looking for it to pull back maybe to 463, and that would be next week. It could pull back down there today, but yeah, I doubt it could pull back there today, but just keep it on watch, see how it reacts here. If it closes like this today, then I would not short it. I would leave it alone. Tesla's dropping a little bit, which is what we want to see. Got a good technical setup on it. The bulls have been right all week long. It's just a matter of time before the shorts can come in there and snag a nice little profit off of a short. But the NASDAQ is just so freaking strong, man. We're up 40 bucks on that. We'll see what happens with it later on in the day. If you took the trade with me, which I didn't really give you much time to take it, and I kind of wouldn't even suggest taking it because everything is just so strong, but obviously something's got to give eventually. Whether it's today or not, who knows? Today could end up being a big red day for a lot of these things, which would be beautiful if it happens. Get back some of those losses. But it could also just continue up. But yeah, you're right. It is definitely at weekly supply. Just keep an eye on it. ISM came in at 51.8 versus 53 expected. So yeah, manufacturing's down. That's the one thing that still doesn't look good. US 2000 up 2.8%. Took a short on stocks. Think we're coming off now. TP'd Riot last week's high and took a short. I called this bond yields fall and stock rally last week. Reasons being NAM survey was negative. I wish you would have told me to get long, Brandon. You could have really helped my P&L, bro. The small accounts suffered this week. The large accounts up. And the Forex account's up. I only took one trade this week on FX. It was a short on Euro USD that worked out up until the Fed started speaking. And then that was when I closed the trade. But it ended up working out good. So that's up. Took a trade on Bitcoin, but did not get filled. And it pulled back to the midpoint of that hourly candle and just ripped. See that wick right there? That's what I said. That's typically, we want to see it drop below the midpoint if we're going to be right on the short. It did not. It traded right to the midpoint of that hourly and smoked. But it's still within the parameters of a short for the near term. Just because it has been pulling back so hard after making this run above that monthly support. This is the level that's crucial for Bitcoin to continue with upside strength. 35,060. It's the monthly support we've been looking at all year long. So if it gets up there, I might even think about shorting it again, or at least, at the very least, put on a hedge, a short position that is only a hedge, not to gain in profits. Tesla coming off pretty good now. See that? That's how fast Tesla's options can burn you. They can burn you so fast. That's why I usually trade those high beta stocks with spreads, but we got to get this P&L back up to at least, we're only down 60 bucks, but Tesla has to absolutely, and notice how this has come off a lot too. We were losing, we were in the red like $74 on that short call. Like I said, it just needs a sideways day or a pullback, a good decent pullback, and that'll be right back into profits. NASDAQ dropping down. Back now, it's not down. It's still up on the day. This is the top edge of the expected move. So you're still up. This is yesterday's close. This is today's open. You're still up significantly on the day. And you're getting ready. You are right now, literally the low of this candle touched the cash open. Well, no, right there's your cash. Oh, no. Yeah, right there. That's the cash open. So if it could get under that, like this would be a buying opportunity right now for the bulls who think that they're going to see continued upside on the day. This is where they would be putting in bids right at the cash open, because this is your low of day on the index products that, gap, but they trade, intraday, post and pre-market. So let's see if that cash open holds. Obviously, I do not want it to. I want to see Tesla drop and continue its drop. It didn't quite. Let's see. This candle is your cash open, so it did almost the same thing. Traded down to the cash open and rejected. You didn't quite get there. You were still a few cents away. All right, with that, we'll wrap it up. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody. We'll build that account back up. It's just a matter of time. We'll see you guys Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend, everybody.